All-Star Western number 19, written by Justin Gray and Jimmy Palmiotti, art by Moritz Hatt, start of a new arc. And this issue immediately picks up with Booster Gold finding Jonah Hex on the side of a river. Because, yeah, we're going for crazy. So, Booster say, hey, I'm the sheriff in these parts, and I want to know what you're doing with these 3 dead bodies in this river. And Jonah immediately calls him out because he's wearing his Booster Gold outfit. And it's like, you don't seem like a sheriff. He's like, yeah, I got the star and everything. No. You don't seem like a sheriff because you're pointing a gun at me. And I've been on the wrong end of a gun long enough to know you're not the kind that's ever going to shoot. And a sheriff needs to be able to shoot. And he's like, okay, well, maybe I haven't shot someone, but that doesn't mean I'm not the sheriff. And he still says, either way, you're around these dead bodies. Who are you even? And he's like, yeah, my name's Jonah Hex. And he's like, that name sounds really familiar. How do I know you? He's like, don't know, don't care. What's your name? And he says Booster Gold. And he basically asks him why a bounty hunter is here with 3 dead bodies that he apparently didn't kill himself. And Jonah's like, I got a better question for you. Where are you from wearing such a ridiculous getup? And he's like, I'm from Gotham. And he's like, no, you're not. I just came from Gotham. You don't sound anything like Gotham. And he's like, okay, look, I'm asking questions here. Where did these dead bodies come from? And he tells them, well, their guns are still holstered, so it was an ambush, and they still have their goods on them, which means they were killed just for the sake of being killed, which means that this is from a gang called the Clem Hootkins gang, which are just the worst. Then we go over to the Clem Hootkins gang, who have come into town. And as they come riding in, he's just like, hello, my name is Clement Hootkins, and I would like to know if there was any law enforcement representatives in this town. And this local drunk comes up and he's like, hey, you at the circus? You guys got a dwarf with you. And the dwarf's name is Cyclops, and he's very easily angered, but Clem holds him back. Just like, oh, hello, sir. Could you please tell me if there's a sheriff in town? He's like, yeah, we got a sheriff. He ain't here right now, though. Okay, well, what about a deputy? No, we don't got no deputies. It's a small town. It's like, okay, well, do you have a bank? He's like, yeah, it's right over there. Why, you going to rob it? And Clem just shoots this guy in the head and says, yes. And then the dwarf Cyclops just rips off this tarp from their cart, has a Gatling gun underneath, and starts unloading on this entire town. The gang makes their way slowly over to the bank, kills the teller inside, and steals all of the money. And Clem's like, well, another job well done. We've got ourselves some money. Let's destroy this town and move on. And he throws back a stick of dynamite. It's Red River Junction is the name of the town. And they all just drive away. And then soon afterwards, Booster and Jonah arrive. And they're like, what? At least Booster's like, what in the world just happened here? Like, I left and everything was fine, and now everything's on fire and people are dead. And Jonah's like, yeah, this isn't even like top 5 of the worst things I've seen. And someone calls him out, and they're like, wait a minute, you're Jonah Hex. You're the one who shot Stonewall Jackson. And Booster's like, wait a minute, that's right, Jonah Hex. I remember you now. And he just goes through Jonah's entire origin story. And Jonah pulls out his gun, and he's like, okay, how do you know that much about me? Because some of that stuff is like pretty private stuff. And he's like, okay, I can tell you, but first maybe we should deal with the whole chasing after the gang thing. And he's like, look, I know who did this. I know the direction they would have been going. I'll chase them down in the morning. And Booster says, like, no, I'm coming with you. I'm the sheriff. I need to see these men brought to justice. I need to put them in jail. And Jonah pulls out his wanted poster for Clem Hootkins that just says wanted dead on it. And he's like, no. This guy's going in a box, and I'm going to be the one that puts him there. Anyway, we can't do anything until morning. We're going over to the bar, and you're going to have some drinks with me and tell me exactly where you're from. So they get some drinks, and Booster's like, okay, I'm from the future. And Jonah just like, oh, haha, very funny. And he's like, no, seriously, I'm from the future. Let me tell you how it happened. So then we get a bit where the sheriff is just chilling in the local jail. He's got one prisoner there. And the prisoner's like, oh, it sounds like my brother Emmett coming here to break me out. And the sheriff's like, oh, geez, this guy's more trouble than he's worth. And we see this guy, Emmett, and 2 of his friends wearing masks. They busted into the sheriff's place, and they just start basically beating him up, trying to free Emmett's brother, Pete. And the sheriff, he's like, Emmett, damn it, I recognize it's you. I know it's you. Your brother just got arrested for being drunk and, like, harassing women at the bar. I was going to let him go in the morning as soon as he slept it off, but you just had to come in here and assault a law enforcement officer. Do you understand how much trouble you're in now, Emmett? And he's like, well, I guess I'm an outlaw then, so you better listen to me and what I demand of you. He's like, Emmett, I'm so tired of this. Look, I will let your brother go in the morning if you just leave now and we'll call it even. I swear I won't even come after you. And he's like, nope, because when I swore I was going to break my brother out, you called me out on it in front of the town, and I will not stand that embarrassment. And he's just like, okay, you two, friends of Emmett, get out of here. Like, he's an idiot. But you guys, just go. And I also recognize both of you as well, so just don't get involved in this. And so they start leaving. Emmett gets pissed off. He starts beating the ever-loving crap out of the sheriff to the point where he ain't going to live through that. And then all of a sudden, Booster Gold just like teleports in. He just shows up and he looks down. He sees the sheriff dead on the ground. He's like, oh my God, what did you do to this man? Like, and he's like, oh, well, I killed him and you better learn your place too. And he goes down, he listens to the sheriff and he's like, what happened? And he's like, oh, this man beat me up. You have to see that justice is done. And so he turns to Emmett, punches him in the face and says, I'm the sheriff now. So Emmett's arrested. Booster goes outside, talks to the town folks. He's like, guys, your sheriff's dead. I'm taking over as temporary sheriff until a new one can be appointed to you. And then we cut back to Jonah and Booster, who have spent all night drinking. They didn't sleep at all. Jonah's totally fine. Booster is on the floor. And Jonah's like, well, that's a crazy story and I don't believe it. But anyway, we got to get going. And Booster's like, well, we haven't slept and we're drunk. And he's like, no, you're drunk. I'm fine. We're going to go. And so Booster stumbles out the door after Jonah. And he's like, okay, yep, it's really bright out here. And I'm definitely going to puke. And so he pukes on the ground next to Jonah. And he's like, all right, future boy, daylight's burning. Let's go. And that's the issue. So I like it. I really like how it's setting things up. We've got a interesting new villain because, like, he does speak in that posh thing, but then he's just so merciless with it. It's pretty unnerving, honestly. His gang also seems pretty cool just from the few lines they had. Booster being here, tons of new opportunities for stories. I'm interested to see how they're going to go down. They can very easily mess it up, though. I'm hoping that they get it in the right way, but there's a lot of ways that they can mess up a time travel story, so we'll see how that works out. But overall, this particular issue, I give it like a 7.5. It's good. The art's solid. I like the writing of it, but it doesn't quite just hit that extra little bump to get me to, no, this is like a fantastic issue. It's still just a good one, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next.